The date is the 6th of April, 2003, near Baghdad over Iraq. Two A10s Thunderbolts, piloted by Lieutenant Colonel Raymond Donk T. Stratusberry and his wingman Captain Greg Billy Bob Thornton, roar over the skies of Iraq, looking to help the 269th Task Force near the city. The Iraqi weather is not favorable today, as a sandstorm rolls in, hindering their visibility greatly. Despite this, they need to help their friend, First Lieutenant John Kirk Blocker, on the ground with his task force that are being shelled from across the river by T-72 tanks. The Americans are pinned down.
If the Iraqis cross the bridge, it's over for us. We need help.
After hearing the call for help, Donk and Billy Bob waste no time, going inverted and pulling into the storm.
Donk, we need you now. I mean, right now.
The aircraft retracts their air brakes and goes full throttle as they continue towards the ground. However, before they do their attack run, they have to locate the bridge itself. After the two aircraft find the river, they follow it to discover the bridge. The Americans from Task Force 269 are still pinned down heavily by the T-72s and other small arms fire.
I confirm, no friendlies to the east of the bridge.
The A-10s are getting closer and closer until the bridge comes into view. But he doesn't know which side to attack, and he needs to mark it before doing any runs as to not attack friendly forces. He calls off his wingman, Billy Bob, and prepares for a pass in order to signal to their friendly forces that that is the right side of the river to strike.
I'm dropping a mark.
He selects his rockets to drop marks using the smoke that's inside of them. As he comes around, he prepares it, but the ZU-23-2 hand-cranked AA guns are waiting for him as they pump lead into the sky. Despite being fired at, Donk still has to prove that it's enemy lines and not friendly Americans that he's about to unleash his GAU-8 Gatling gun upon. He tries to fire, but the rockets are faulty. Nothing comes out. Thinking on his feet, he switches to his flares and immediately flies over the target, dropping them profusely.
We're getting AAA, and I do see the tank. I request clearance in when able.
Despite the dense fog, Coke can still see the flares clearly, and he signals to Donk that he's clear to engage.
Clear to engage.
He goes around and prepares his Gatling gun to rain hell upon the enemy. The Iraqis are not unprepared though, as they turn their hand-cranked artillery guns towards the jet. The lead shoots across the sky, coming within a mere feet of his aircraft, as he expertly maneuvers his A-10 Thunderbolt towards a target, and then unloads. The GAU-8 cannon Avenger is one of, if not the best guns equipped to an aircraft of all time, and it tears through the enemy armor below. As he pulls up, enemy anti-aircraft fire continues right behind his aircraft, but he's not hit. As he continues to fly, his warning lights gleam red. He thinks he's been hit. He does a full diagnostic of his airplane, checking every control. But everything comes back fine. Donk is confused until he tries to select his Corsair for his Galway Avenger. It doesn't work. He retries to reset the system, but it still fails. He understands and calls in his wingmen to take his place. Billy Bob doesn't waste a second and begins to dive towards the enemy. He finds a target, a T-72 main battle tank, and obliterates it with his GAU-8 Avenger. The tank doesn't stand a chance as it bursts into flames.
I got that sucker. He's running the west edge of the circle, boss.
Despite Donk's Corsair still not computing, he still has his GAU-8 Avenger that is too deadly to leave out of the fight. He still has his rudimentary Corsair as well, as he dives in towards the T-72 and other armored vehicles. And with his rudimentary Corsair, he opens fire, unleashing rounds against the armor. Billy Bob prepares for another fly round, but he doesn't initially see any targets to hit. But he has a trick up his sleeve. He goes inverted to see more targets and mark them out to Donk. He sees the anti-aircraft position, but also an additional T-72 main battle tank. As much as Billy Bob wants to get rid of the AA guns, he needs to get rid of the battle tanks first, as every shell that they fire could be another American life.
Hey, I got a second T-72 eastern position of the roundabout. Confirm I'm clear back in. You're clear back in.
In the sky above, Donk glances at his fuel gauge and realizes that they're approaching bingo fuel, the least amount of fuel that is required to get to the closest airbase.
Bingo.
He decides that because of the specifics of the mission, he can recalculate it to stay and support his troops even longer. Billy Bob gets closer and closer to the enemy target before gaining altitude to prepare for his attack run. Anti-aircraft fire sprays into the air, but Billy Bob is undeterred. He goes inverted to pick up speed and then unleashes hell upon the T-72 battle tank. It doesn't stand a chance and explodes into a massive fireball, sending the turret up into the sky. Meanwhile, back with Donk, he's still estimating his bingo fuel for him and his wingman, all in his head by using the closest airbase and his current fuel. Billy Bob rips his nose around for another pass. His target, supply trucks, but what he doesn't see is the anti-aircraft missile that's launched. He tips his wing, and the missile flies within just feet of the aircraft. But it's a miss. Billy Bob holds his breath as he spams chaff into the atmosphere. The American troops on the ground see it. He breathes a deep sigh of relief as he extends away. It's not long before he turns back, however, and goes to finish what he started by trying to take out those supply trucks. He unloads his GAU-8 on the supply trucks. It's a direct hit, and the trucks don't stand a chance. Meanwhile, back with Donk, he is flying low, close to the bridge. He needs to stop the Iraqi advance. He selects an air-to-ground missile to lock in and take out the armor on the bridge. He holds his breath as he races low across the water. He then picks up altitude as to get a lock on whatever he's trying to hit. He selects a T-72 battle tank and fires. The air-to-ground missile rips off his wing, flying across the sky. It strikes down on target. The American troops can finally breathe a sigh of relief, feeling the a10s' destruction upon their enemy. But Billy Bob still has some unfinished business to attend to. And that is, of course, the anti-aircraft guns. That has been a pest to him the whole mission. He unloads his GAU-8 Avenger before popping flares and turning right back around. Donk watches his friend be shot at from above and decides that he's going in to help. Donk wheels his aircraft around. The Iraqi orders the younger one to bring him more ammo. He saved his life. As Donk descends upon the artillery position and lights it on fire, killing the Iraqi gunner. Task Force 269 is very grateful for the a10s. As for the a10s, they've reached their bingo fuel and begin to head home. Their mission is complete. Both Donk and Billy Bob would go on to survive the war,